What's up, Facebook? I am live both on Facebook in my Natural Visionaries Facebook group and on Instagram. And if you guys are on, let me know how you can hear me and if everything sounds good. But today I felt this need to go live and give you guys some of the insight on the three cool things about essential oils, the three ways to use them, and of course I'm going to go in and talk a little bit more about how to use some of the particular oils, but that's not really the focus today. It's really more about like the basics and kind of like an introduction to what made me personally fall in love with doTERRA. So while you guys are joining, make sure you say hey. Got my water, got a coffee, got everything working. Those of you on Facebook, or if you're on my email list, I sent out an Essential Oils Made Easy little sheet that you guys can download. You can open it up, you can print it out. But essentially this class is about the basics, and it's really going to guide us to learning really just the basics and really where to get started. So if you've never been to one of my classes, you never decide. I press my eyes to stare at the screen, but then I feel like it's weird with the reflection. All right, we're going to try it without. All right, so welcome. Okay, I also made notes for myself because this is a new way that I'm teaching a class. I've been teaching a class the same way for 4 years now, and I'm switching it up. So there's going to be a season really soon where I am teaching about 4 to 6 classes a month, and I want to get better at it. So I'm taking out my balance, and I'm going to give myself a little love with the balance. Okay. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Anna Bordner, and I'm a wife. I'm a mom of 2 kids. I've been using essential oils for about 4 years now, and I've been doing this as a business for almost just as long. I love it. I love what I do, but my intention today is really to help you understand the power of essential oils and how it can change your life and your health and your family's health. And although I've done my job today, and you guys can tell me the 3 cool things about essential oils. So when I became pregnant with my daughter, she is, gosh, oh my gosh, she'll be 6 on March 1st. I recognized this need, this like really big need in my house, in my health, in my home for natural options. I needed to reduce the toxins I was cleaning with. I needed to figure out what I was using on my body. I was totally the person who would wash my face with like bar soap. I just didn't know any better. I wanted to not be texting my doctor's sister at 2 o'clock in the morning telling her I'm super uncomfortable. What can I take during pregnancy? And then nursing afterwards. I knew that there was like a whole season after that was about to come up that I needed to be prepared for, and then how to take care of my child. And if that wasn't a big enough need, 4 months after she was born, I got pregnant with my son. So my kids are 14 months apart. And at that time, when I was pregnant with him, that's when I was introduced to doTERRA oils. And I really haven't looked back since. So the first time I really, let me start here. So I was able to use oils to clean my home. I was able to use oils to support Harley's health. The first time I remember using them was when she was teething and snotty and just like this mess, and none of us were sleeping. I was super pregnant and couldn't breathe and just super uncomfortable. So I was able to use the respiratory blend to help clear up her like snotty teething mess. I was able to use that same oil to help me breathe and stop feeling like I was just super full of a baby, which I was, chasing around a toddler. I was able to do better at cleaning my house and using natural options for our healthcare and our self-care. I remember the first day it was like a really big deal is when Harley was napping and Declan, those like front carriers. That's how I got Life done back then. I swear I'd still carry them in those. I love those carriers. Oh, I can still feel them on me. But the first time I cleaned my house, Declan was in the front pack, and I'm using things like the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate to clean my whole house. And I didn't have to worry about it harming him. In fact, there are like side benefits instead of negative side effects using these oils. So I'm excited to share with you today an intro to essential oils, the 3 cool things about them, and the 3 ways to use them. So if you don't already have it out, get yourself out the Essential Oils Made Easy PDF. So print that out or open it up if you don't have it, or if you don't have it, I put it in the link in the Natural Visionaries group. Don't go backwards. Sorry, trying not to lose both of you. Okay, and then so open that up. So it's just kind of a cool place to take notes. If you don't have it, you can probably Google it. And it's just Essential Oils Made Easy from Live Naturally. It's free. So let's get right into it. And remember, my goal is to help you guys discover those 3 cool things. Okay, so the first cool thing about doTERRA oils is that they're 100% natural and safe. To me, when I was pregnant, listening to this spoke to me. This is what I needed at the time. And so these 3 cool things about oils are also the reasons I chose this company. So I feel like it's super important to recognize that there's so many different brands and kinds of oils out there, and it's really important to kind of cut through that like noise. And hopefully I can help you do that. So first cool thing is that they're 100% natural and safe. There's nothing added to the oil. There's nothing taken away. They're just simply pure oils with no side effects and no addictions. They're safe for babies. So I was able, when my son was born, the first thing I did was drop a drop of frankincense on his head. They're safe for children. They're safe for adults. They're safe for our grandparents. Hey guys, hop on Insta. So essential oils, in case you don't know what they are, but I feel like these days everyone's used an oil before. They're extracts from plants, from seeds, from bark, from stems, roots, flowers, the rinds of citrus that have amazing health benefits. And pure oil is about 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. Yes, 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. 1 drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to having about 28 cups of peppermint tea. So they're super potent, you guys. And I want you, if you have doTERRA's peppermint, I'm going to walk you through something. I know quite a few of you, at least in my oils community group, have oils. I know some of you on Instagram do, and I know I've sent out a bunch of samples recently. So if that's you that got a sample of peppermint, this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to take a drop. So this is my peppermint, or one of them. I have one in like every room. And I'm going to put a drop on my hand. That one's almost empty. And then I want you to know that it is basically a rite of passage. If you get this in your eye, it stings like crazy. You will be fine, but what will make you more fine is if you have something like this fractionated coconut oil, which is just always liquid coconut oil, and you take it and you just like wipe your eye out. Or if you get it in like a sensitive area and it's bothering you, fractionated coconut oil. And I really like this because it's good for your skin and it doesn't leave like a weird residue. Okay, so I have this peppermint on my hand, and we can dip our finger in it and put it on the roof of our mouth. So we have this immediate like refreshing, minty, obviously, feeling. And then the second thing I'm going to do is rub my hands together, and I'm going to breathe in, close my eyes because it's really going to affect your eyes just because of the potency. And breathe in. And we can do this for few breaths. You can do it for 30 seconds. You can do it for a minute. You can do it when you need a refresher. But it opens up our airways. Peppermint is really great to help calm nausea. Peppermint is really great for like an immediate burst of energy. Sometimes people like to do this in the afternoon, like when you normally drink your afternoon coffee, or for me, it's my cold brew. It's gotten smaller and smaller. We'll give myself that. But I love to have that like hit of peppermint with my cold brew. And the last thing you can do is rub the rest on the back of your neck. And that is cooling. It's really great. Just give yourself a little neck massage. If you're sitting at your desk, you totally do this. So good. So, yes, that is our peppermint experience. And so that 1 drop of peppermint that you just did, if you did this with me, was equivalent to drinking 28 cups of peppermint tea. And that is how powerful these oils are. So what I love about these oils is the CPTG standard. And this is the thing that made me like crush hard on these oils and made me look way deeper when it came to using essential oils. So CPTG stands for Certified Pure. It's like my necklace. I love it. A friend gave it to me. Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, and it means that these oils are completely pure and potent. So pure means there's no foreign contaminants. It means that they are pure. It means that there's no fillers. It means that there's no like additives, and that there's no like pesticides or weird stuff in it, because that's the norm these days, you guys, is when you have a company like Aromatic Plant Research Center, APRC, you guys can look them up, and some of the studies they're doing with different oils and different brands, we're seeing that the majority of the oils on the market these days are adulterated. And so when we have this CPTG stamp, it means these oils have gone through about 70 different tests. Some of those are internal to doTERRA, and some of those are third party by the Aromatic Plant Research Center. And so as a mom, even as someone who like is health conscious, I don't know why that word is so hard, then that means so much to me to have that stamp. So I think I want to mention this here too. So the first cool thing about essential oils is that they're 100% natural and safe. And if you guys saw, I did a little Instagram story the other day, and I don't know if you can see Facebook. Let's see. No, it's not working. But anyways, on the bottom of these bottles, you can kind of see it. There is a lot number. Instagram can see it better. There's a lot number, and you can go to a website, and it is, I'll type it in on Insta or on Facebook, source2u.com. So sourcetoyou.com. And you can literally enter in the lot number on these bottles, and it'll pull up the test results for single oils for doTERRA. And you can learn about how to read those test results. You can learn about where the oil comes from. It's a gorgeous website, and it's why I feel like we don't have any competition in the world of essential oils. So first cool thing, 100% natural and safe. The second cool thing is that they're effective. So essential oils are more effective on a cellular level than many modern approaches to health problems, which is a pretty bold statement, but I want to explain. So first of all, I want to like recognize any like nurses or doctors. I totally don't know how you do it, and I love what you do. And you're definitely way smarter than I am at this like biology thing. But I want to bring this down to like the super basics. So let's say that this is a cell in your body, okay? And we know that cells have oily cell membranes, and that cell membrane protects the cell, and it keeps all the good things in and all the bad things out. And the two of the things that are harmful to our cells are bacteria, which usually form on the outside, and viruses, which can replicate on the inside. So bacteria on the outside, viruses on the inside. So say you went to the doctor and you had like a bacterial infection, right? what do? You guys can answer if you're on live, but I also, it's a delay, so I might just keep going. You are going to be put on an antibiotic, which is great. You're working with your doctor, you recognize something's wrong, go you. That is a huge, huge step for a lot of us, right? But sometimes we know that when we take an antibiotic, we know that we can build up resistance to it. We know that sometimes we can be overprescribed, or just, man, we're so hesitant to give that antibiotic to our tiny baby, or maybe it's your third one of the year and you just aren't comfortable with it and your body's screaming at you like something's not right. And you also know that when you take antibiotics, it's interesting what it does to the gut. So probably clear up that infection or that bacteria, but it often comes with wreaking havoc on your gut, your hormones, your immune system. So you're also having to recognize these side effects of taking that. So say you had a virus like the cold or the flu, and what would that amazing, wonderful doctor say as you're suffering and there's nothing you can do? They'd say, go home and rest and drink water, and it'll likely run its course. And you're like, guys, I'm dying here. I need to do something for myself. And they don't have anything to offer you. But, so, usually, I want to mention this, water and oil don't mix. So when your doctor is recommending something, it's usually like a water-based synthetic agent that he's going to be offering you. So it'll have a hard time penetrating that oily cell membrane and stopping that duplication of the virus. But anyways, essential oils are different in that they're oil-based, which means like kind of like a key in a lock. They can permeate that cell membrane. So they can work on a cellular level without those side effects, without those addictions, and they can combat that bacteria on the outside and help with the virus problem on the inside. This is why that they can often help a little bit more and make you at least a lot more comfortable. There's so many oils that just do so many things for you. We'll get into it. Okay, so the second cool thing about essential oils is that they're effective. And there's one thing I want to mention here. So there is an oil called On Guard, which is the protective blend. This is the blend that I started using years ago when I got started with essential oils. And because my kids are so close together, I was getting sick like all the time. It's terrible, really terrible. And I would measure it by like my days in the gym. But I started using On Guard and got that down to about once a month with how often I was getting sick. And then eventually I added in a supplement trio called Lifelong Vitality, which really knocked it out of the park for me and gave me this incredible basis of nutrition and health. But anyways, On Guard, there's a couple studies I want to mention, which you can find on PubMed. And it talks about how On Guard can help attenuate some of these things we don't want that are common when we're feeling really under the weather. So you can go over to pubmed.gov and search On Guard, and you'll find some interesting studies there. And you'll also find, I don't know if you'll find it actually, but there was a study presented a couple years ago at doTERRA's annual convention out in Salt Lake City that talked about this bug that tends to be rampant in hospitals that On Guard was able to effectively manage with a very minimum amount. So super interesting stuff, guys. And I mention those because I want you to know that oils are more than a pretty smell. Oils, this particular brand of essential oils goes way beyond a pretty smell. And you can definitely look up a bit more info if that's you. Water break. Okay, so besides those cool uses of On Guard, I love to use it to help soothe like an itchy throat. I'll add a drop in my water, but more of like a shot glass of water. Drink it, you can gargle it. Or with kids, On Guard is a really great oil to dilute. You want to dilute about 2 drops per tablespoon, teaspoon to tablespoon of that fractionated coconut oil, and apply it to the bottoms of their feet before they head off to school. Another cool tip I like is to diffuse something that's immune boosting like Wild Orange or like On Guard while they're having their afternoon snack in the kitchen, and you have your kitchen diffuser going and it's helping them adjust to, emotionally adjust to being home, but also boosting their immune system and smelling amazing, of course. Okay, so the third cool thing is that they can actually be cheaper than traditional medical care for a lot of common issues. So if you think about your copay for visiting your doctor, say it's 20 bucks, or even if it's zero, and then your doctor gave you a prescription, say that's another $10, or maybe it's zero. It's still, I'll explain this in a second. It's still more expensive to go do that. So say when someone in my family has like ear discomfort, or when I get that like itchy throat, it is pennies per drop for On Guard. So it's like oh gosh, how much is a bottle of On Guard? I'm doing math on the fly here. doTERRA On Guard is $34 for the bottle, and it's 250 drops. So where's my calculator? It's like 14 cents a drop, and I'll use like 2 drops. So it's about 28 cents for me to treat an itchy throat. Maybe I do it 2 or 3 times, and then it goes away, and I do not progress into this like crazy downward spiral. Or say my kids have this ear discomfort, right? And I'll put some lavender, I'll put some tea tree around it. Costs me about 64 cents. They wake up, they're fine. So whether it costs you $20 for the copay, or $0 for the prescription, or whatever it may be, I feel like essential oils are still less expensive than the gas in the car you pay to go to the doctor's office, or the day you took off work. I don't know about you, but like, even though I don't now physically don't go to an office anymore, like this is my home office here, but I'm still missing out on a few hours worth of work, which I love. And then your kids are missing out on school. So yeah. And you're also not taking into account the fact that if we happen to end up on antibiotics, what that can do to our gut. So adding in something like probiotics, which are actually really good for you anyways, you should be taking them sporadically or consistently in cycles. So that's even more money. So we save hundreds of dollars a year in medical costs because of essential oils. So that's the third cool thing about essential oils. So I mentioned lavender, and probably a lot of you know that lavender is really great for sleep. It's another oil I started using originally when I first got started, and it helped. Oh, that's what wasn't in here. So lavender is such an incredible oil. It's like the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. So we're going to use it for sleep. We're going to put a couple drops on our temples. We're going to use it with tea tree oil and help with ear discomfort. Frankincense, tea tree oil, lavender are all great for skin irritations. My kids live with having a bottle of like lavender or tea tree. They're always outside, always getting bug bites, always getting like scratches. And when your eyes get red, using that tea tree and the lavender around your eyes is super beneficial. Yes, so many things you can do with lavender, you guys. Also another sleep blend called Serenity I wanted to mention. Oh, so good with lavender, Serenity before bed on your temples, diffusing next to you, smelling it like we did with the peppermint. So that's the third cool thing about oils. So let me grab a sip of my coffee, which my phone is leaning on. So there's 3 ways to use essential oils. And the first way to use essential oils is aromatically. So if you guys are listening, you can take your fingers, you can pinch like right above the bridge of your nose, and then right under your fingers is your, I always feel like I pronounce this incorrectly, your olfactory nerve. So you can take it off, but this nerve sends messages to the limbic system in your brain, which in turn sends messages all over the body and some people say that this is like weird, like how can aromatically essential oils actually help you, but I was reminded of this example. So I don't have my appendix anymore. It was a couple years ago when we had first moved back to South Florida that I basically felt like I was dying, and I happened to be like spending the night at my parents' house, and it was like 2 a.m. I'm like, Mom, you need to take me to the emergency room. I think I have appendicitis. Of course, I'm like in there Googling, not being able to sleep. So my poor mom, I'm like however old, in my 20s, like, Mommy, you gotta take me to the emergency room. So anyways, I get there. Of course, I have it. And I needed emergency surgery. But I remember that anesthesiologist, she didn't give me a shot. She didn't give me a pill. She put this mask over my face, told me to think about having a margarita in Mexico or something like that. She was cute. And to count backwards from 10. And I didn't even get to like 10, 9, 8, 7, and I was out, right? So when you breathe these synthetic compounds through the mask, your olfactory system is powerful enough to send signals to your body to knock you out in under 10 seconds. So it's the fastest way to access the brain. This happens exactly the same way with natural components found in essential oils, except it's not going to like knock you out. So when we breathe in these natural compounds from essential oils, they hit our olfactory nerve, and the olfactory nerve sends signals to the limbic system, which in turn sends signals to the rest of our body. This can happen in as little as 30 seconds. So there are a few ways to use oils aromatically. You can breathe them like right from your hands, like we did earlier with peppermint. We can use them in a diffuser. I have a diffuser back behind me. I'll put one on my desk to show you. Or you can breathe them right from the bottle. One of my favorites. Right now I'm diffusing wild orange and balance just to give us a good, nice, calming scent in here. So I actually just opened wild orange. So if you have wild orange, take it out. Put a drop in your hands. I should almost follow this one too. Okay, so put a drop of wild orange in your hands. And smell. And like, what is your experience with this? This is just so good. It's amazing, right? So wild orange has components that help deal with stress and depression. And wild orange is a really great one to take wherever you go. It's a great one to add to your water. And it just smells amazing. It's a great one to diffuse. Wild orange is another one I have in most rooms of my house next to the diffuser. So the first way to use essential oils is aromatically. So I want to give you one more example of aromatic use of essential oils with Breathe, which I actually have this one here next to me, which is pre-diluted in a roller bottle. It's kind of a good example of what it looks like. So it's pre-diluted with coconut oil. I feel like I need to mention that sometimes because there was one person in one of my classes whose son was allergic to coconut oil. And I feel like it's important to know allergies and such. So, aromatically. So Breathe, in this blend, we have peppermint, tea tree, cardamom, eucalyptus, lemon, laurel leaf, and Ravensara oil. So it's not one we use internally, but it's an incredible oil to use aromatically, and it supports the respiratory system. So I like to use this on my kids whenever they're stuffy. I like to roll it on my chest, on the sides of my throat before a workout, before bed. It just helps you breathe. If you have a husband or maybe it's you, no shame. That's a snorer. Use something like Breathe. So good. Put a drop in the diffuser with Serenity or with wild orange or with lavender before you go to bed. With kids, you can make your own. So say you have a bottle of it, you can do 5 to 10 drops in an empty roller bottle and top it with that fractionated coconut oil. And you have your very first, very simple DIY. And you can roll it down their backs, on their chests. Such a good way to support your kids' immune system. Declan was one that Breathe and another oil I'll mention in a minute, I just had to use on him every couple hours when he was a baby. So the second way to use essential oils is topically. So we just did aromatically. And I mentioned topically, we've done topically with the peppermint, and now with the Breathe. So you can actually apply oils directly to the skin. So I, again, want to mention fractionated coconut oil because if we think about essential oils, they are aromatic volatile compounds. So literally volatile, they can evaporate pretty quickly from the skin. But when you add a carrier oil, you're actually letting them sit on the skin a little bit longer, and it takes them a little bit longer to absorb, but more of it's getting absorbed. You can apply it to a bigger area because you have that carrier oil. So it can actually be more effective. You can even apply it to the bottoms of your feet, including on babies, and it won't harm them. The pores on the bottom of our feet are really big, and so it absorbs that oil very quickly into the bloodstream. It's a great way to get oils into your system fast. So I have two little examples for you, talking about a couple oils. So topically, frankincense is this oil that is the king of oils. It is so good. The reason they gave it to baby Jesus because it is such a useful oil. And as a mom, you might want to hoard this quite a bit because it's really great for your skin. It's really great to apply up here, help calm those wrinkles. It's the oil that helped me get rid of my stretch marks. But my son, my little troublemaker, my son got bit, had to have been by a spider. It was like, it was horrible, on his ear. So I noticed, and his ear, well, I didn't notice the spider, but his ear was like out here. It's terrible. I was terrified. I ended up driving over to our local pharmacy, and he was not even maybe 2 at the time, and I was freaking out, didn't know what to do. My husband's allergic to bees, so I thought I was like gonna end up in the hospital with him. And the pharmacist is like, I can't help you. There's nothing like Benadryl for kids under 2. And I happened to text my friend, and she was like, Anna, use your frankincense. So I kid you not, I put like 2 drops on it, and then like 2 or 3 minutes later, I put another 2 or 3 drops on it. And guys, his ear went back to normal size, and I didn't have to go to the hospital. It literally saved me a trip to the hospital. It saved me the cost of the Benadryl. Could have saved me a trip to the pharmacy. So it was just something really, really empowering about being able to take care of your children with these natural options. Such a good thing. And the next thing I want to mention is Digestin. I don't have it on my desk, but Digestin is the digestive blend. So there's a good blend of helpful digestive oils in there, and that oil is one you probably don't want to use before yoga class, but it's one you can use topically and internally and aromatically, but here I'm mentioning it in the topical section because it's really good. You can rub it on your belly, you can put a drop on your tongue, and this is enough. So this is the oil that I would have sitting next to Declan's changing table, and every time I would change his diaper, I would roll this around his belly button because he needed it that often. Really super helpful to just help him get rid of some of that like gas and discomfort he was feeling. So the second way to use oils is topically. The first was aromatically. Now the third way we're going to use oils is internally. So these oils are not only safe to use internally, they are recommended. Because of that CPTG standard, it means that these oils are medicinal grade, meaning they're completely safe to ingest, unlike most other brands. You can put them in your mouth, you can drink them in water, and I love to add them to my small bottles or bottles like this. I keep a bunch of citrus oils, including lemon, my Slim and Sassy, my grapefruit oil, wild orange, green mandarin, all by where I fill up my water cups with our filtered water in our kitchen. So internally, citrus oils are cleansing to the body because of the constituent limonene. So it's a great way to support your immune system. It's a great way to support your liver. Every day you fill up your water bottle, plus it makes your water taste great. One of my tips is that getting that like Publix, I don't know, it's under $1 for the club soda that you can get. and just putting it in a glass with a drop of grapefruit. It's so good, and it's like a little treat. So if you don't like the taste of a certain oil, maybe you're like concocting your own little natural remedy and you don't like the taste of oregano, maybe you can put them in a veggie cap. So it's literally like an empty little pill thing that doTERRA sells. It's like 100 of them or something crazy for $4, something along those lines. So you can create your own little natural remedy for when you're feeling under the weather. You could do 2 drops each frankincense, lemon, On Guard, and oregano in a little veggie cap. You take that twice a day if you're at the point where you're like totally not feeling well. Really good little tip. You can take something like copaiba, which is an incredible oil that is super beneficial to our entire body. That is a great one to take internally. Turmeric essential oil is another beautiful one to take internally. Yeah, so many options, you guys. And remember, I'm just kind of like touching on the basics here. So the third way to use oils is internally. So now we went over 3 cool things. We went over the 3 ways to use them, and now I'm going to talk about 3 ways to actually purchase these oils. So there are 3 ways to purchase doTERRA essential oils. The first is retail. And the only time you'd ever really pay retail is if you were going to purchase it from a spa or from a chiropractor or something like that. It's the most expensive way to buy oils, so I really don't let people purchase that way through me. But the second way is wholesale. So it's kind of like having a Costco membership or a Costco card where you have that annual membership that gives you access to their awesome stuff. I don't know about you, but I love Costco at really good prices. So with doTERRA, having a wholesale membership allows you to buy at 25% below that retail price. And the third way, and the only way I buy my oils, is below wholesale. So this is the smartest way to buy your oils, and you'll learn more about this once we do your welcome call after you get your first box of oils. So as you guys have listened tonight about the power of essential oils and how it can really change your life, how it can change your health, you might be thinking like, wow, this is like really interesting. And doTERRA and myself, I know I can speak for myself, is we want to support you in beyond just using tea tree oil for like acne or deep blue for like the times you're at the gym and you have a sore back. So our goal is really to teach you how to live this natural lifestyle so that when things come up, you have like a box of oils that can help you. Where you can reach for these natural solutions that don't have any of these negative side effects, where we don't have to worry about cleaning with bleach anymore, and where we can really start feeling better so that we can live better. Okay, so doTERRA starts putting these, lost my train of thought. So doTERRA puts starter collections together that are cheaper than if you buy the oils separately or individually. So if you add up the cost of all the oils, the kits, kind of like the one I just showed you, are always going to be cheaper. So all the kits include a free wholesale membership, and then you'll have everything you need at your fingertips and your own login, which is really cool. So let me tell you a few cool things about the kits. So first of all, with these kits, you are going to get a welcome call with me. If I'm your enroller, if I'm the person helping you get started, you are going to get access to all of my continuing education. But honestly, like one of the coolest things I like to do is help you come up with a plan on how to use your first box of oils. Super important to me. So telling you about my 2 favorite kits. The first is the Healthy Home Starter Collection. It's actually my favorite. It comes with the big bottles, so like this size versus this size, so 15 ml versus 5 ml. It comes with 10 of those top 10 oils, a lot of them we talked about today, a diffuser, shampoo and conditioner, and several On Guard products that really help you to start making that switch in your home to natural products from the beginning. For me, that was super important. So the next kit is the Healthy Start Collection, which comes with those top 10 oils in the small bottles. It also has a diffuser, and it's a really popular way to start. So just to give you a little tip, the Healthy Home collection comes with the bigger 15 ml bottles, and because of that, you're going to end up paying a little bit less per drop than the Healthy Start collection with the smaller 5 ml bottles, and so the value is a bit better with the larger collection. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know, because I'm not obviously sharing my screen and you don't see them. But you could also go to annabordner.com/shop. I'll type it in instead too. And that has those descriptions and links for you. So typically I end up working with 3 types of people who listen into these classes, who typically join my oils community. So the first type of person is excited to live this natural solutions lifestyle. They want to learn about the power of these essential oils. They want to share the products with their family. They want to get these in their home, so that way they can do better. They can feel better. They can up-level their self-care. So this type of person is supported by both myself and by doTERRA with free monthly essential oil education. You're also going to get that 20 to 30 minute welcome call with me once you get started, to help you create a daily habits routine for yourself and your family. Oh my gosh, my eyes are starting to hurt. I need to put my glasses back on. These are great, by the way. I don't know about you, but my eyes get really tired, and blue light glasses help so much. So another little tip. So the second type of person is sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, my mom needs the deep blue. She loves to garden and it could really help her knees. Or my sister's pregnant and she can't breathe either. Or, oh, my niece could really use that tea tree, or whatever it may be. So these people naturally want to share what they love. And doTERRA supports this type of person through a generous system to reward people who share those products. And as these people share over time, they can have their oils they purchase paid for each month. So think about it as free healthcare. These are also the type of people that I come to personally teach classes like this for, either online or in person. So if that is you, reach out. I'm here. I help. Literally, this is what I do for a living. And I can help you. So the third type of person has been watching me this whole time, or you're watching the replay and you're thinking, man, I could do this, and I could do this better than her. I want to change people's lives through educating them about natural options. I love these oils. How can I make an income from this? Or maybe you want to replace or multiply your income, or maybe you were like me, so freaking sick of the corporate world that you will change your entire life and flip it around, or go from engineering to essential oils like I did. And these people can earn enough to supplement or even replace or insanely multiply their income so they become financially free. So any of these 3 ways are totally fine, and I personally support people in all of these 3 areas. So let me know. Let me know what you are, and if you're interested in this as a business, I can definitely help you out with that too. There is a portion on my website, annabordner.com/opportunity, I believe is what it is. Okay, so again, you guys, I just can't express my appreciation enough for doTERRA and for these oils. I genuinely love using them in our home. I genuinely love using them on myself. You can see me. Anytime I teach a class and I'm passing around oils, I always smell it myself first. I am just so in love with them that I don't know, I had to start sharing them. I believe that when we feel better, we do better, and that our purpose should not be limited by our health. So I went through this last year of life, just so sick, not feeling well, sleeping, taking up to 3 hours of nap every single day. And I went through a season of feeling like crap and understanding Anna, this is who you're here to help, or these people who have a fire in their heart, who don't feel well enough or don't feel supported emotionally, physically to go out and build these dreams that they that they have living in their heart. So I want to help you. And honestly, I want to help you create just a basic routine for yourself that you can do every day for yourself and for your family based on your top health needs. So the last thing I want to mention is on that sheet that you should have, there is a spot to fill in your top 3 health concerns. I want you to go ahead and fill that out. Write it down. And if you would like help choosing the appropriate essential oils for this, message me a picture of it and we'll work together on choosing exactly what works for you. Okay, so that is your next step. And then once you do that, or once you go over to annabordner.com/shop and choose your kit, it triggers to send an email to me, and then I in turn send you a welcome email within 24 hours, and I'll send you a link to book a welcome call with me. So that's it, you guys. So that took about, oh gosh, did that take an hour? 45 minutes? All right, you guys. Well, I appreciate you being on live, or if you watch the replay, I appreciate you. You can find me here on Facebook, on Instagram, or on my website, annabordner.com. All right, have a beautiful day.